The other day I laid over in Las Vegas. I found out that this hotel that we stay at has both red and green rooms. Initially, I thought that there were only red rooms because that's all I ever get at this hotel. I've been like on my tippy toes when I walk in, like, am I gonna get a red room? I want my red room. I recently learned of this word from travel host Damon Dominique. Maybe a little bit more, okay. Oh my God, the word is depayse. It means to be removed from one's habitual surroundings, to be in a place that makes you feel a little out of your element, to feel in a different place. And I think that that to me is what travel is, what the red room gives me. It's this feeling of depayse, this feeling of travel, this feeling of being not where I am right now in Austin, Texas, this feeling of being in Las Vegas, this feeling of being there. I got my red room that I love so dearly. Look at this red, all this red that I got. Gosh, I could write like a novel here. It's so pretty, this room. It's just so pretty. It just gives Vegas. I love all the red. It makes me so happy. TV here. I wonder if this TV comes out. Yeah, it does angle. Ooh, vibe. Don't touch, don't look, don't touch, don't look, because they will charge you. Malik, in his uniform, he's a cutie. He is just worked Boston, Vegas, so he's feeling very Boston. Honestly, loving the Boston crowds lately, so shout out if you're from Boston. This is pretty cool. It's just like fun stuff. It's just weird, very Vegas, the hooks. And then the red shower, so you can feel as sexy Vegas as you need to. I mean, this place, like, I just simply love Las Vegas. Just like aviation, bring out the craziness in all of us. And I love that about Vegas, that you have to know who you are to have a good time in Vegas. You have to be so self-aware. All these lessons that I've been talking about on YouTube kind of come into play in this city. Being a flight attendant, you will see people get on the plane after Vegas and they are like, I've literally had a guy scream like, get me out of here. Like getting on the plane, he's like laughing, but he's like, get me out of here. Because if you don't know your limits, you're gonna spend way too much money. If you don't know your limits, you're gonna drink too much alcohol and get kicked off the flight before you even make it. This place, if I am down, which I'm honestly not down right now, like I'm okay. But when I tell you Las Vegas will get me right, the flight here was good too. It was okay. And I wrote cards for the first time in a long time to customers. After I wrote her a card, she gave me this Italian cookie from Lordo's in Boston. That cookie was to live for. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not vibing with my crew. I'm not. I'm just not. I think it's okay. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just human to not like everyone. Like, I just think it's human. Every single time I go to work, I work with new people for the most part. I think it makes perfect sense that you don't vibe with everyone. Because if you do, that means you're not being you. That means you're not being real. That means you're not being authentic. All these things that we all say we value so much, right? Authenticity. A lot of situations in this trip, and it's been pretty stressful. The crew's going out. My layovers are my layovers. Let's talk about this. Part of the reason that I am like this about my layovers, y'all, so much work goes into even getting a layover. If you're not in the industry, you might not understand, but I don't just snap my fingers and get a Vegas layover. It is me going into the bid packet that we receive every month and spending hours reading every part of that package. Okay, what are the layovers I should be bidding for in this package? Ooh. I know I want to go to Vegas, but if I just put Vegas into the system, I might end up with 14 hours in Vegas at a hotel that's further from the strip. So I'm basically spending a lot of time analyzing the bid packet and then creating and submitting a bid, creating a month for yourself. It's a lot that goes into it. And this is because I care. I want to create something. I want to have a really incredible, meaningful time in the cities and really learn about the culture of that city. Oh man, did I not shake this enough? Is anyone else obsessed with cold foam these days? Yeah. Let's say I do all that work to bid and I don't get the trip that I want. I pay for alerts every single month through the system that my airline uses. That company then sends me, okay, you wanted Vegas, here you go, someone dropped it, you gotta go rush on the system right now to get it. Time and money, energy that goes into ensuring I get the trips I want. You're telling me I'm gonna finally be there and spend it with somebody I just met doing something I don't want to do? The math's not mathing. Even to spend the time with someone that I'm just not totally vibing with, right? I have no reason to do that. You know what I mean? After spending so much time trying to make this happen for myself. Should we do a taste test? Oh, you know what I forgot? Here we go. 0 sugar, sweet drops. Oh my God, bro. Much better. Money. Ooh, so good. There are people I get to work, I meet them for the first time, and we hit it off. Then there are other times when I'm like, you just want to hang out with me because I'm the only person you have access to right now. Alex Hormozy, his wife's name is Layla. Both of them talk about this, how their relationship is about more than just the fact that they are compatible romantically or sexually. It is also that they make good partners because they help each other build. He was specifically saying, are you friends with that person because it's convenient? Like, what are the odds that your neighbor is going to be the person that you should hang out with every day? That person's going to help you get where you want to go, right? Or that both of you would be aligned to help each other get where you both want to go. It's like most people have relationships because those relationships are convenient. Go the same way to work together, so we're besties. What are the odds that out of as big as the world is, that that's going to be your person? I was super little, I had this pet YouTube channel, and I'm pretty sure the brand that I first partnered with was like based in Europe. One of my best friends lives in the Bay Area, and like, I'm from Brooklyn. You learn by moving, by traveling, by meeting different people from different walks of life, not just the people in your immediate circle. And that extends to not just the community you like, literally the neighborhood or town that you live in, but that extends to the place you work and the things you do, the hobbies. Hi, it's Malik. I am behind the scenes editing. The whole point of what Alex was saying was that it is really good in life to design friendships so that they are meaningful for you and for the other person, and to put effort and time into those relationships. And then there's also the fact that I create content, especially if I have a cool layover, which is when people want to hang out. I want to make a video. I don't just want to hang out with the people I came with. I want to meet the locals. I want to learn what their life is like, and I want to share that with you. If you're not about that, you are not going to want to spend time with someone who's just on their camera or on their phone the whole time. Like, let's be real. Like, I don't want to give you that experience either. The same way people have kind of got annoyed now culturally when you say, like, wait, where's my phone? You're at lunch or whatever, and you're like, could you take a picture of me? And you're already wiping the lens. Even just how that has gotten kind of annoying. That's not what people want. It's just very different from just enjoying a day. This is such a weird moment. I am excited to be here, but it's a very mellow excited just because I am done. I'm tired. I felt bad because the pilots wanted to go out and they were kind of talking to me, but I'm like, I'm not going out. The rest of the crew is going out, but they're like talking to me and I'm like, I feel kind of bad. I know pilots, especially like younger ones, like they only have one person with them and that person's usually older. So I feel bad. That's another thing that's been coming up. I feel so bad for not doing what other people want to do, but it's like, why should I spend my Vegas layover doing what other people want to do? And then by the end of it, I leave like upset that I didn't do what I wanted to do. Realize that's what it is about Vegas, because it brings out everything in everyone. It makes people drink more. It makes people gamble more. It makes people get crazy. And so all of it pushes you to your limits. And you have to see like, ooh, who am I? Will I cave? Will I do what other people want me to do? Because it's the same story since I've been coming to Vegas.
Especially when you're in cities for such a short amount of time and it feels like you're making new friends and like you should. I feel guilty for not going out with people. And I think that I need to stop. The group chat's like texting right now as we speak. I shouldn't feel any kind of guilt for not going out and for just spending my time how I want to spend my time. Moments like this, you can't see the trees, but moments like this, there's like a field over there. I care more about these kind of moments and I remember these kind of moments more than I remember going out. And yet there's still this feeling of need to, I just feel like, why do we have that?
Vegas pushes people and brings out emotions. They were like, but what are you gonna do if you're not gonna go out with us? Thinking of renting a car, going out to like Valley of Fire, even watching the sunrise or sat at Red Rock. I was also really thinking of going to the Arts District. I had been to this place called the Writer's Block, and it is a bookstore.
I'm reading this little book. It's such good nuggets in here. Affirmations for turbulent times. Very fitting with all the flying I do.
Exactly what you'd imagine a bookstore in Las Vegas is like. Odd. Like, oh, they read books here? Like, that kind of vibe. I was like, oh, I want to check out the rest of this district. And that was over a year ago. I basically wanted to do something that I hadn't done in a long time or that I had never done in Vegas. This hotel is not like the other one that we stay at. And so since this hotel is pretty, I would just say, let's say it's, if you're wanting a lit time in Vegas, if you're throwing a party, this is the hotel to do it at. So I think they might charge me if I rent a car and bring it here. I don't feel necessarily called to do it. I think I want to do it because it's 25 hours in Vegas and I want to do something, right? Especially if I'm not going to go out. Part of me is like, do I want to spend basically $300 on this layover? Not much compared to the whole trip. You'd be spending $1,000 minimum for flights, hotel, for a night. I want to do this only once this summer in Vegas. And what if next time I want to do it, but this time I did it and then I wasted the money and blah, blah, blah. I've been thinking about this abundance mindset and I feel like right now I'm not thinking so abundantly. It's now or never, or like I'm not going to get another Vegas layover. All that to say, I don't know what's going to happen on this layover. Maybe I can go to Fremont Street. The cool thing though about Las Vegas is that even if you don't know what you want to do, when you land in Vegas, you are in Vegas. The Tropicana Hotel, they're destroying it. And I heard about this news like months ago, and now I'm seeing it for the first time in real life. That's crazy. I can't believe they're basically destroying that hotel for a baseball stadium, which I was just reading on AP News, and it's saying that it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for Vegas to have a baseball stadium, I think, like on the strip base, so they're gonna do it. But that sucks to see Vegas being torn apart, especially after the last time I was here was F1. Just kind of sucks to see it. So something just pulls me to Vegas, because I don't drink, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make any sense that I love this place. I don't gamble, but I love Las Vegas. Good morning, y'all. It is new day. I got of course, Dutch Bros. My love, my whole heart. Oh, fudge, there's such a big bee. Oh my God, it's not even a bee, it's like a wasp. I don't even think it's a wasp, it's like something. I travel to Dutch Bros all across the country. Dutch Bros in Vegas never misses. Not a single one of their drinks will they ever miss. I got a trifecta with soft top. I have a little spoon, and I have my fruit bowl from home. Blueberries, blackberries, and pomegranate seeds. This is how I do Vegas layovers. My airline's communications team let me write a story for our internal company. So I can't really share it. It was on my Vancouver layover, and it meant so much to me. And today, the article's released into the airline. So the entire airline, my whole company, got this email that I did this story, and people are reaching out to me and commenting in the company thing, and I'm like, wow. Like, it just meant a lot to me to kind of pass the mic to me internally, because I really do feel like my airline is special. My airline's like 20, my age, so like 25 or whatever. We're getting older. And it just feels like a win. You know, I kind of needed a win. It's kind of like a moment in your life where you feel like, okay, I'm on the right track. Keep going, keep going, keep going. This is insane. A trifecta is caramel, white chocolate, and dark chocolate. Say less. This friend I used to be on panels for Instagram with, she writes children's books. She's like a leader in that space. And Instagram would have her talk for like kind of parenting stuff. And being that I was so young, I was kind of like involved in that. Like as a child, teenager perspective, she just did this thing where, being that we're at the halfway mark of the year, she is saying it's a good time to kind of, I guess, reflect and realize, like, ask yourself these questions of like, what surprised you this year so far? Or what made you, I guess, what do you want to see for the rest of the year? What do you hope comes true? What do you want to focus on for the next 6 months? What happened in the past 6 months, right? And I think it's a good time to do that reflection. So I think that's what I'm going to do right now here at Dutch. And I was going to just gratitude journal, but I think it might be a good time to do that. And then I have some other things I want to do here today in Vegas. Clearly, I did not rent the car. I did not go out. I don't know. It just didn't feel right, but this feels right. Y'all, just got out of this tattoo shop right there. I did not get a tat. I want to get tatted. Just looking for an ear piercing. I've been getting really cheap studs, and I want to get a quality one so I don't have to keep rebuying cheap ones. And I also need water. It is 105. I am in the Arts District right now, and it is an incredibly pretty part of Las Vegas. I never hear anybody talk about the Arts District, but I think they gentrified this place, to be completely honest. I remember someone, an Uber driver here, when I was here like a year ago, saying it wasn't like this before, this area, but it's pretty. There's just so much art. So pretty. This has to be, I feel like, the most slept on part of Las Vegas. The Arts District officially became a thing in the 1990s. So back then, it was called 18B. That was the nickname because it was 18 blocks of a district, right? That was the neighborhood, just 18 blocks. Today, it spans, you could say, 20 plus. The way that the Arts District started to gain recognition was from these First Friday events. These events were held on the first Friday of every month, hence the name. First Friday was really this cultural moment, festival filled with art. A lot of locals, right, that were bringing this place to life. It was a street fair. It was this gallery that would allow people, that would give people reason to come to the Arts District. So First Friday started back in 2002, and now you look at the Arts District today, and there are, I mean, just a wealth of really modern bars. There's theater, there's galleries, there's still the Arts Factory. And I think one of the cool parts about the Arts District is that it's still a lot of locals involved. When I was talking about gentrification, I was really concerned that like this place, if it isn't what it was back then, if more people have come in, if more recognition has come in, did it lose a piece of what it was? I found this article from Las Vegas Weekly. It's from 2015. It says the Arts District is in for a makeover. If the renderings posted on Main Street properties just north of Charleston Boulevard come to fruition, the plan is to demolish buildings there and replace them with freestanding structures that would accommodate restaurants, galleries, and other businesses. The efforts initially drew ear back in 2013, viewed as pushing out artist tenants. So when those same property owners purchased Art Square for $3.2 million last month, someone mused, where should we move the Arts District? It says now that area, the Arts District, is flourishing with pedestrian-friendly businesses, dining options, bars, coffee shops, right? The landscape for galleries has changed. This place that was really scrappy and just had these events that the city was supporting, from what this article says, don't quote me, Vegas seemed to be supporting, right? That all these people were coming out to, that it was gaining momentum, right? Once a neighborhood starts to get those finer things, it starts to get more expensive, and then it's like, can the people who started it all still afford it? President of the neighborhood association there, and back then at least, and he said, as we talk about this gentrification, how do you make sure the artists are included in the process? They are the reason the area has been marketable. Artists are always going to be nomadic. They're going to build up areas and going to be pushed out. But why can't we be different? From Fox 5 Vegas. The Arts District has exploded. Everybody wants to be there, right? This is someone talking from the city of Las Vegas, right? As they continue to talk about the future. And this was this January. This is an artist named Brent Holmes who says that he's now being priced out. And this is another artist that joined him, M. Void, saying, I can't afford to live in the Arts District, and I could 10 years ago. The city of Las Vegas is currently trying to figure out options of making this place more affordable. Maybe that means making the Arts District bigger, right? Maybe that means, like, in terms of a bigger district, literally. New constructions, new builds. But they're trying to make more affordable housing and live and work housing, right? But the thing is, if these construction builds are going to take time, right, the end of the article kind of says many artists say they need the help today, not years down the line. CNN recently called it Las Vegas's hottest neighborhood. I think it might actually deserve that title. It is one of those places that when you go, you can just feel mentally stretched. You know when you walk into something and you're like, ooh, like, there's like, my brain is taking this in because it's just such a creative place. Seeing Vegas do something that is so not Vegas is what makes it so cool, because your brain's like, I didn't know this existed here. There are a few points in the video where I say, so not Vegas, or I am so not Vegas, or this neighborhood is so not Vegas. I want to clarify that I don't really feel I necessarily have I don't want to say the right, but who am I to be like, what is Vegas and what's not Vegas? In the same way that if there was a New York transplant saying, oh, this is so not New York, I'd be like, yes, it is, right? Like, I'm from Brooklyn. Like, I know what New York is. You know what I mean? So when I say that, I mean what the mainstream pushes Vegas is. A Las Vegas local may say, no, this place or you are so Vegas, right? You're so interesting and unique and creative. And maybe that is Vegas. That part of it just gets drowned out by the Strip. Even if you look on the Strip, you'll see creative people, right? So maybe this isn't so not Vegas. It's just not what the mainstream pushes about Vegas, not the reason people fly to Las Vegas, right? I've never heard a customer say, I'm going to go to the neighborhood that I'm going to show you. I've never heard a customer, like, it's always, I have a convention to go to, it's a business trip, or like, we're getting lit on the Strip, right? Like, that is the story of Vegas. So it's not, it doesn't fall in line with that story, but that doesn't mean, or that isn't to say that it's not Vegas, because I don't feel I can make that claim. In general right now, I feel like we are in a place where so often people are making claims about a place or a town or a religion or a person or anything, right? When I lived in Utah, people love giving me thoughts about Utah. These people have never been to Utah. It's so not Vegas to not drink when maybe there are a ton of people who don't drink in Vegas, right? It's so not Vegas to not gamble. Do you think Las Vegans are gambling every night, right? Going to casinos every night? Like, no. So, yeah, I just wanted to put that in there, make sure y'all knew where I stand on that.
And then your brain is also like, oh, so this is what someone who lives in Vegas and like has like, I guess, a little bit of that Vegas craziness, like they're surrounded by that. This is what would spill onto the page if they were all artists. That mental stretch brings on that feeling of depayse, right? That feeling of travel. You had to spend time going the distance to reach. You can feel that feeling of arrived. Fraiche Arts.
Fresh. It's pronounced Fraiche Arts.
Can't even stop to smile as I talk about them. They are just the sweetest people. They just like called me over and I'm like, okay, like I'm alone here. It was so quiet in the arts factory as I just walked around and it was so chill. Oh no, like these people are calling me and like, what am I gonna do? Like, can I disappear for a second? And I'm so glad that I walked in there and that they welcomed me in, because it can be hard when you're traveling and you're not from somewhere or you don't live there, even though I've been to Vegas quite a few times. We just got into this like cool conversation of what it's like to live in Las Vegas. And they were telling me that if you can push past that threshold of like, okay, what am I gonna do in the desert when it's 100 degrees, gamble every day? Like, I don't do that now. You know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, work at a hotel? Like, it seems like once they got over that hump and they made the decision to move to Vegas and they did it, they were able to find this really creative community within the arts district. From speaking with them, it felt like you can kind of chart your own course in Vegas. Las Vegans aren't going to the Strip every day, right? They're living their life, and that means they are pursuing creative things, right? And so to think that, even though it's so crazy because Vegas is such a place that you think, oh no, there's no way to do what I do here there, right? Because it's so different. And that othering of Las Vegas, that ostracizing of Las Vegas from the rest of the country is maybe what keeps people from moving there, keeps people from trying it. And it is also what they were saying may be the reason that cost of living just hasn't increased to the level that it has in other cities. Doesn't have that same appeal. The LA, the Austin, the Miami, the like where you could move there and really build a life. They were able to
be in one space and then move into a bigger space. And that's the moment that I caught Julie at.
Fraiche Arts.
Fraiche Arts.
Yes.
Very nice. So I stumbled into this, it's the Las Vegas Arts.
It's the Arts Factory, world famous Arts Factory.
Very cool, in the Arts District.
In the Arts District,
and
Las Vegas.
Yeah, and so you got a new space here.
Yes, my expanded studio gallery.
Very cool. That's awesome. And then I asked you about your door because I thought this was such a cool color.
Yeah.
Why did you choose this color?
Well, I wanted, something that energizes people and makes them smile. So I decided to do a bright, bold color.
Yes.
And it's in the spectrum of my warm paintings, just a little more vibrant, kind of kick off the experience when you enter.
And then you're gonna have a neon sign.
Yes,
Let me see if I
have
can.
a neon sign out here. So that'll sit right up there.
It's very cool.
So that's the backdrop for the neon sign.
And so what do you just sell your art? What can people, if they're in Vegas?
Oh yeah, I sell art and you're welcome to just come in and browse as well. But all the paintings I paint are for sale, so. Yeah.
Awesome. What I wanted, my dream for this layover, once I realized I wasn't gonna rent the car or anything, was just to like pop into places. And I found that thing, and I sometimes get scared. I'm like, I don't want to just pop into a place. I don't have a plan. I'm gonna go in here. It could be something I don't even know. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to be in the unknown. That is how we get to the magic in our lives, is by being in the unknown. And it's only from the unknown that you can get yourself to an incredible place, right? It's only from the unknown. But it seems like it's a little bit about voting, which is kind of cool.
I went to La Linea Body Art to look for that piercing I was telling you guys about. So I really I wound up getting actually this little gem here that absolutely no one has complimented me on. It is pretty. I've never heard of this before. Mind you, I don't go to many piercing shops, but they had like thicker rods, I guess, for the piercing, meant to be more permanent than for you to be taking them out and putting smaller ones into your ears. Like, if you look at some of their pieces, it was really some creative stuff there. Never seen such a authentic and real looking plain earring. And so they're gonna get back to me on whether or not they have it in a smaller thing so I don't have to make it so permanent. While I was thinking about getting this one, I went outside. It was one of the hottest days yet this summer in Vegas. At that point, everybody was outside. They had all of these vendors with thrift clothes, and I was like, ooh, just kind of like, I have to check this out because everyone seemed to be getting in on it. I ventured into Off the Threads. It would attract people that were into not only thrifting, but just into creativity, into art. They had this beautiful backdrop wall filled with different things that now I feel inspired to create one here. I started talking to this older woman inside the store, and she just started telling me how proud she was of her granddaughter. Your grandma was just like telling me all about your story. You wanted to come to New York to do fashion school or design school, and then you realized you could do it on your own, and that you did have, what it takes to make it and to do it yourself.
The high school that I went to, it was like a CTA, so it was like a career and technical academy. So I majored in like fashion design. They were really pushing like FITM or like the one in New York. I was mostly interested in Parsons, the new school design. It just cost so much money, and at the time my grandma was working for a fashion designer in LA. So I was like, I mean, I could just like advance my knowledge in fashion through my grandma. After I graduated, I was never able to get a job because I had really bad anxiety. I would never like get past the interview stage.
How did you push past those no's?
I gave up. I was like, that's why I was like, what am I gonna do with my life? That's why I started selling on Depop. But honestly, when I started on Depop, I was like kind of even nervous to do it myself, to like put myself out there. So I remember like it took so long to even create the name. I like stayed up like all night one day. I remember I like figured out the name at like 3 a.m, and then I made a Depop because on Depop you can't change your name once you put it. And yeah, I was scared to do it. So I was like, I had messaged my friends and I was like, oh, do you guys want to start selling on this page too? But then yeah, mostly all my stuff was selling. Back in 2018, there wasn't that many vintage shops in Vegas. So I decided to open one, and it was like a small little studio inside of like the arts factory. But when I first opened up, I tried to like do those vintage warehouses. I went to one in like Cincinnati. I normally travel a lot too to source my items. So I went to a warehouse in Cincinnati and one in LA. That wasn't really my scene. I was still digging, but like I just liked finding the item myself. And then for a while too, I was doing estate sales, but I feel like here in Vegas, estate sales are like oversaturated. Sometimes people will call and we'll go to their house and I'll source from them. Or just when I travel, I'll try to go to like smaller little thrift stores, mostly ones that like give back to the community. Like there's one that all the profits go to helping out like domestic abused women and like give back to the homeless.
I was looking at one of your posts and you said that you wanted to make vintage clothing, like you said, more accessible to Las Vegas, and that you also there was this quote, I like unique one-of-a-kind pieces, and vintage clothing is just that, along with repurposing and keeping the backstory of a garment. What does that mean?
Biggest one was the first lady musician here in Las Vegas. Person that was taking care of her had reached out to like all the vintage shops in Vegas, and during COVID, and she like just donated a lot of stuff, and it was just cool knowing that those pieces, like the backstory, because she was like telling us how the lady was like really into making her own clothing and making it unique and like altering it to her size. Like she would do everything custom herself. I wanted to like make my shop different. At the time, my grandma had retired, so I was like, oh, you should just be the seamstress. And we could add that to like the vintage store concept. She like definitely taught me like way faster techniques and all that stuff when it came to sewing. We got lucky my first year. We were able to be Dua Lipa's seamstress for the Billboard Awards.
Cool. And I saw you guys got to work with Tan France from Queer Eye recently.
We've been able to do like so many cool like job opportunities. Like we've worked with Adidas, Under Armour, Wranglers, Grammys. I started at 18, so I feel like a lot of people, when they see me doing it, they just think like it's super easy. Like, oh, if she did it, I could do it too. Which, yeah, it is true. I think everyone could do it. But at the same time, I feel like it's so much harder. Like, especially running a business, it's like a 24-hour type of job. Because when I first started on Commerce Street was in 2019. I was the first shop on that block. So it was like really hard to get traffic. So there was times where I would like feel like unmotivated or like oh, should I switch it up? Everything ended up working out. A lot of people they'll even say like I'm the first place that they're vending at, and I feel like that they just grow from there. They'll even get inspired like coming to those events. They'll be like, oh, what the heck, like how do you get involved? Because I feel like a lot more markets are more like strict.
If someone happens to be in Las Vegas, maybe they have like 2 days, 3 days, like why should they come over to the arts district?
There's like a lot of like local artists. There's like this one cool local artist, Recycled Propaganda. He like, it's like a small little free exhibit that showcases like local artists. And then I think all of like Commerce Street, the one that I'm on, because it's like Main Street, mostly everyone knows about, but then Commerce Street is like evolving. And I feel like all the shops are like so unique, and like mostly all of the owners are working their own shops.
You inspired me, honestly. Where can people find you? And is there anything coming up for you guys that's exciting?
They can find us on Instagram at Off the Threads. We are going to be premiered on Queer Eye probably in February. Our next event is going to be Funky Flea on August. I think like the second to last week of August. I think it's August 23rd, yeah.
This neighborhood in Las Vegas is really beautiful because it is a place that is so unlike Vegas. And it kind of, to me, it validates that story of being someone who is so not Vegas, but yet loves Las Vegas. And I think that it is going to be really interesting to see this place continue to grow. And I hope that that the next time you go to Vegas, you support local artists. If you're gonna go to the arts district, go support these people, find out what they're doing, and make it a point to support local artists and local people in your community, wherever you live. Evolution is cool as long as I think the people who made it get to stay and get to reap the rewards of the evolution that they contributed to. And if you like this kind of video, I would love if you hit a big thumbs up. And if you gave me a subscribe, I would love to be in your feed more and just to share what I'm learning about the country. Like, this feels like the first video that I'm doing that in, and I'm really excited to make more of these. All right, I'll see y'all. Thank you, Grandma Linda and Julie and Doug and everyone I met, from Lalinia to the Lone Wolf. You guys have created something, or y'all have created something beautiful. And I'm so grateful that I got to spend a layover with you, and I hope that people now go to the arts district. Okay, I think that's it.
I feel like I'm just learning how nice Nevadans are. They have been so sweet to me today. Not a good example. They have been so sweet to me today. I just got this, bro, no way. This guy won't go. Nevadans also get upset. But they have been so nice to me today. And my heart is so full. And I just got this house lemonade with passion fruit from, I think it's called Death Owl or something crazy like that. This other guy told me that I need to go to Precious Slut. I'm like, what are y'all trying to do to me in 25 hours in Vegas?